Hey everybody, we're back with flashradio.fm. This is Robtronik. This is Theo. And I'm Pat SL.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, whoop.
All right. Now we're about to go into a very fun part of the show. Something we've been talking about, something we haven't yet gotten into, but something that every DJ, especially those of us who've played more than a few gigs, have either seen, experienced themselves, watched close friends die horrible deaths dealing with. And that is called the DJ fail. And not really sure where to begin with this. I can tell you that while I worked for years running the main stage at festivals and at a major club and at a lot of different clubs, I saw some pretty wild stuff. Some of the things that I say would qualify, I'd say, as fail adjacent would be, no, I mean, dude, this is...
I love it. Fail adjacent.
Pretty bad stuff.
As opposed to fail direct.
Well, fail direct. So, I mean, fail direct is, stopping the record and being so high that you think you're playing a track over here and you're ready to go and start your new one over here, and yet this is the one that's playing and you stop that one or pull the record off and there's silence. I've seen that more times than I can count. But the one that really sort of changed everything for me was the advent of the CDJ 1000.
Okay.
And watching all of these super duper big time, highly paid, well-respected DJs play pre-recorded sets, play 2 and 3 track pre-recorded mini mixes on one CDJ, then to go to the next CDJ and do the same thing for 3 or 4 songs while just manipulating the mixer. Now, a lot of that stuff doesn't matter to you while you're on the floor and you're just dancing. It's just who cares?
Right. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But to me, as part of the production team, a DJ myself, these things were really disheartening.
Oh,
and I'm talking about big name DJs.
Yeah.
I won't name them, but
It's no fun if you can't name them.
no, I just won't. I
was trying to make that. It's no fun if the homie can't get.
But I'm just not going to do that. If they were sitting in this room and we were calling each other out,
Right.
that's one thing. But
Right.
I don't want to get into that. The one thing I will say that was pretty funny,
Okay.
and I will name the DJ.
Okay.
He's a super nice guy. Nigel Richards, 611 Records,
All right.
Philadelphia.
Boy.
Partner with Josh Wink. Done a bunch of shows with Nigel over the years.
He's a very high-end real estate agent in Philly now.
Didn't we have Nigel Richards play at one of our parties?
Yes, we did, and we actually released a track on 611.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that seems familiar to me, and now I know why.
That's so rad. I have no idea. But check this out. This is really funny.
Okay.
So we're in the house room at Spundae. This is probably about 2002. And one of my friends, Jared, shout out to you, you fucking asshole, who always plays these kinds of pranks on me and everybody else. So I'm switching over from DJing. Nigel's about to go on. It's an Allen & Heath Zone 62, turntable. And I've got a record playing, I think, here, maybe an acapella up here, and I leave this one ready for Nigel to come in and start with. And he goes, puts down a record. He and I are both chatting, and my buddy, Jared, is near the booth, not really in the booth, but kind of in the booth enough where he can touch things. He goes up and just goes to where the tone arm is, and there's that little handle that can lift the needle up just so. Now, when you're standing at a club, you never assume anybody is going to raise that. So Nigel is taking the needle, setting it down on what he thinks is the record, trying to get the sound. He's listening. He's not getting the sound. I go up. I start checking. We can't figure out what the hell's going on. I look over and I see him, and he's in the front of the dance floor laughing his ass off and pointing at me and laughing. And all he had done is move the tone arm up so that when you dropped it...
Oh, so it wasn't touching.
It was just like an eighth of an inch. Barely not touching, but you couldn't see it.
Oh, man.
And such a... I mean, and again, when I showed Nigel what it was, he starts laughing. I start laughing. We're both looking at him and flipping him off, and he's just loving it. He thinks he's the funniest fucker in the world.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a fail, but whoever thinks to look at that.
Well,
when you're DJing?
let me just say for those in our audience that don't know what that is, a needle went on a record, and it generated sound when it spun. There's a whole bunch of videos out on YouTube. Check it out.
Yeah,
So,
what's also pretty funny about you saying that is there's so much vinyl being sold today.
Right, that's
and
true.
So many people own it, but the funny thing is, Discogs did an actual survey. Less than half of the vinyl
own turntables
is played.
They don't even, like you said, they don't even own turntables, let alone play them.
Yeah.
So let's be clear. It's the plural of vinyl is vinyl.
Yes.
Okay, good. I just want to say that. All right.
Sheep,
I play
deer.
I play
Right.
I play digital, but I collect vinyl, and I can DJ. I have 5 turntables, maybe 6.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have access to all kinds of turntables, but I find DJing on CDJs or XDJs or whatever the hell you want to call them now, or digital players, to be just as fun.
Oh, yeah, it can be. I'm just being facetious when I call that out.
And what I like most about it, though, is being able to have a lot of music at your disposal.
Right.
A ton.
Yes. And to go
ton.
different ways.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I remember when I first started DJing and going to raves, Barry Weaver was highly respected and one of the best
legend
DJs. He's one of those DJs. And,
yeah.
He retired about a dozen years ago, and people still want him to play. But I respect the hell out of his decision. But Barry, back in the day, in the early '90s. He would come in with like 7-8 crates for like an hour set.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
And a lot, because he would also play doubles. So he would be, actually manipulating doubles of tracks and doing that stuff. But yeah, now just having one USB stick and I have 7,000 songs on there ready to go, and I can move in any fucking direction I want. That's DJing. That to me is a lot of fun, to be able to have that kind of accessibility of music and being like, I remember I played this track 5 years ago. I want to play it again right now.
Right.
And I wouldn't be able to do that with vinyl, because you just don't have that ability.
Yeah. So, sorry, go ahead.
Do you remember I had the large Odyssey bag.
Yeah.
The one that would go out and you could roll it.
Yeah.
But it still only would hold what?
Like 70.
No, I think, you get the bigger one, it's 100 records. Yeah. But it's pretty stacked. Yeah.
But I'd have like some dividers, and I'd have like acapellas and DJ tools in the back, and maybe like the hottest new tracks in a divider in the front. But most of it was like, you'd switch stuff out, and you might play a different set week to week. But God, I'm like, now I've got 1 terabyte drives, and it's like I can go anywhere.
Yeah.
The one thing I miss about having the vinyl more than just the old vinyl arguments literally is the process of going through the records, pulling it out and putting it on the side so you had the angle, and then you'd put up like 3 or 4, which is essentially what you wanted to play, but it gave you a chance to kind of feel that out. So you'd be like, oh, I want this, and you put it diagonal. So you get all these things there, and then you'd look at the crowd and you'd go back and be like, no, I think that might have been a good decision 2 minutes ago. This is a better decision. Then you pull that out. I miss that kind of organizational thing that you got with the vinyl and your crates and all that.
Because you used to do that now maybe you're doing that in your mind, but then it was more about kind of laying out your set.
Yes.
And so you'd lay out your set and you'd think, okay, peak, valley, super peak, whatever it might be. And that's true.
It was just the tactile feeling too. It's like, oh, I got that. No, I'll put it back.
Yeah, also, there were songs I didn't even know what the song was. I just recognized what the label was.
Totally.
And then like later on, I'm like, that was by him or her or whoever.
Right.
Like, oh, okay. Anyway, let's get back to the fails.
We want to do fails. So what do you want to go?
Sure.
Yeah, let's hear some of yours.
One that whenever I had my own fail, I always try to just maneuver away from it.
Okay.
In a way, I remember there was one time, and I remind my wife about this all the time because it was her fucking fault.
Beep, beep, wait, rewind, edit. Okay. Sorry, Kim.
She
we
knows.
got you.
She knows.
Okay, we got you back.
She probably even knows what I'm going to say.
To this story?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was DJing at the Masterdome, and it was going off. We were having a great time. And then for those who are unaware of the Masterdome, it was pretty much the all ages like rave nightclub in San Bernardino that was going off for.
It was the Mecca.
It was the number of years, and I was pretty much there. I could call myself a resident there because I was there all the time.
Yeah.
And I was DJing. It was going off. I was having a great time. And this is the vinyl days. And I was in the middle of a transition. And, one track's about to end, and one's coming in. And my wife decides to like come up behind me and like pinch me or something like that. And I accidentally moved the faders in the wrong direction. And all of a sudden it's silence because it went to the song that ended. And the only way I think I could do to play it off at the time is just yell. And I'm like, yeah! And everyone's like going off. And I'm like, okay. Boom, back.
So she actually helped you out a little bit.
It worked out at the end. It like caused me like a second of confusion. I'm like, oh, what the hell? And so, but one time I accidentally DJ failed REW.
Oh.
Yeah. So REW is
you did this to him, is what you're saying.
I don't even know if he knows this. And
confession time, another one. This is a hot podcast, man. We got all kinds of things happening.
And Raul, I apologize that this happened, but it worked out. So it was at the Boys and Girls Club in San Bernardino, which was another rave venue at the time. There was multiple rooms, and the drum and bass room was in a smaller room, and I was enjoying his set, and I was in there, and I wanted to sit down. And so in order to sit down, I put my back against the wall and just scooted down. Unfortunately, I scooted down on where the plug was.
Oh.
And so all of a sudden, I unplugged. So what's awesome about this was the sound goes off. I mean, basically, it's just the turntable turns off. And and you could hear everyone, right? And I reached behind, plug it back in, and it was like, yeah. I was like, all right.
So you created tension release in the party.
It worked out.
Yeah, that worked out.
It was like a moment of like, oh, what the fuck? And then it was like, yeah, let's get back into this.
I have a similar one, except I did that to Kevin Saunderson.
Nice.
At Compression, we're having him play, and he started. I got everything set up. This was at the King, and I was like, oh, I gotta move some wires. It's like under the table. Now, anybody that's been to the King knows in Compression, very intimate environment. It's pretty small, holds 300 people. So I'm up there in the front with the thing, trying to get, some cable, something. And I realized as I switched something out, I did exactly what you did. Power went out, and it was his first track. So everybody was pumped. It's Kevin. He's like, da 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 da, and I was like, oh shit, I think that was me. And so Kevin looked at me because he knew I was doing something, and I went, boop, and it went, whoop, and it played, and I was like, oh my God, I almost ruined my own party, and it was Kevin Saunderson of all people, so.
Serotonin, or 5-hydroxytryptamine, is a neurotransmitter involved in many brain and body functions that is commonly known as the substance of well-being and happiness.
Baby wants to ride so high. Baby wants to ride for love. Here we go. Baby wants to ride for love. She took me to the sky for love. Oh, how she took me for love. Stripped me bare and watched me for love. She made me scream deep for love. Baby, baby, rise for love. Relate. Yes, she brought me to my knees. Oh, for love, made me beg, please. Oh, for love, remember, have mercy. Remember, baby, you had me bleeding. Oh. Baby, rise for love. Have mercy. Relate. Remembering the yesterdays of us we spent together. Visions of you and me in my mind.
Slap me if I bore you.
Oh, our bodies intertwined with each other. We were in so many positions, but some I can't even find in a book, you know. Baby, rise for love. Relate. Oh, make me scream, baby. You know the way I felt when you undress me, and when you put your hands deep down on mine. You know what I'm talking about, baby. Dig. Dig. Relate. Take me to the water, baby. And baptize me. Baby, the way you make me feel.
I can tell you a funny one about.
Yeah.
We obviously used to have big names that were on tour, so
Yes.
some of these people were, let's just say, faded for days or weeks at a time. And there was a female DJ, and I won't. If you look back and you look at Spundae and the heyday and who were the big ones that we had, you could pretty much guess who
I'm just
going
gonna
to
say Sandra Collins.
I was going to say that, or DJ Irene. No, that's too hard house, probably. Oh,
So anyway,
is that a confirm or a deny, or what is it? Wow. Okay.
So anyway, so she's playing and on CDJs.
Yeah.
And remember when everybody was getting really into learning to do the looping,
Yes.
and then the half loop, and then cutting it down, and
Oh,
then,
yeah.
and getting to the point where you get to the platter on CD mode, and then we go tick 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 tick.
Oh, right,
and
right.
then dropping the track back
Yeah.
in. So
That didn't get annoying quick.
she
but-
was,
okay.
it didn't, right? But she was doing this a couple of times with her in her set, and there was one time where she was doing it, and I was standing behind her and, making sure she had whatever she wanted, water, drinks, whatever. And so I'm looking and I'm watching her, and she's got her hand on the CDJ about to go and do something, and I'm looking at her, and she's got her head down to the side. I'm like, what's she doing? She's dry heaving, trying not to throw up.
Oh,
So basically, this was like, let's say 15 or 20 minutes into the
Yikes.
set. Then at one point, she goes to do this effect, and it's going on for a long time. And I look, and she's, oh! And then comes back, does it, lifts up, looks perfectly fine.
right.
And the crowd's going crazy.
Wow.
And I'm like, facilities, get over here, cleaning this fucking puke right now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking.
That's
Now,
living
I
the
know-
life
I
right
know
there.
we didn't confirm it was Sandra Collins or not, but one of the biggest fails, that I know of is regarding her.
Oh,
She had her record stolen while she was spinning.
no.
Yes,
Wow.
That is ridiculous.
yes.
Wow.
She
That's
was
terrible.
In the middle of her set, someone grabbed her records and left.
And they couldn't catch the person.
That's the only part of the story I know. I don't know if it was found out afterwards,
Oh.
but she got her records stolen while she was mixing.
well,
Well, you guys remember Sir Ian, right? Ian Gotts. You remember Ian?
oh, he used to do all the sound stuff, right? Yeah, Ian. I forgot about
So
him.
before Ian
Yeah.
was really, entrenched in LA, Vanguard, Insomniac events, all that stuff, he was originally Oakenfold's tour manager.
Oh,
So when Oakenfold was, and this is in vinyl days. So Oakenfold had like 3 or 4 cases of records, and the metal ones that were like really like the flight cases, the really, really tough kind.
right.
And then he had locks on them because people always wanted to steal his shit. Tons of white labels, you name it. They're playing in Mexico City, and Ian's in charge of all of his stuff. And whatever, we're just saying.
No filter.
Loses the keys. From what this is what I was told, okay, by Ian. So he loses the keys, and they don't believe that there's records inside there, and these are like federales. So what did they do?
Oh, my God.
They use a drill to get through the lock. And what did they do through the
Oh,
lock?
no.
They went through the lock, and they went more than halfway through the turntable, the records. So they destroyed like half the records.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
they did this to 3 of the 4 boxes.
They didn't figure it out in the first one that this was legitimate.
Well, in their minds, they just thought these could be. It doesn't matter. The 4th one could have the drugs.
To have the stuff in it. Yeah, they have to. They were being thorough.
So by the 4th one, he's like having a full fight with it. You got that fire, you got it, big blood, big blue, I'm gonna do my fucking job, blah, 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 blah. And he had to grab the drill from them and do that one himself. And all they had to do was put the lock up on something so it wasn't flush on the side of the drink. So they went through the lock and into the box.
Jeez.
So Paul goes to play headlining some huge.
He's playing both sides of the vinyl on some of his tracks.
Right,
He's got to
right.
make that work,
Instead of having 4.
Yeah.
Playing the inside cuts.
Totally. He's like, this is exclusive, like.
Can you imagine just thinking about where that is on the record and what would you do?
Yeah.
What would you do if you were presented with that?
Well, I do want to do my actual fail. Can I do my actual fail?
That's
This
why
is
we're here.
okay. So I was DJing at the Vanguard. I actually think Ian might have been there that night because he was doing sound for Vanguard.
Ian ran all the sound at Vanguard from,
Oh, okay.
from beginning to end.
It was him. So he's involved in this story. And I was lucky enough. I knew Scott and Ken because I was doing the 103.1 FM stuff, their community service
the
radio.
radio.
Yeah. Well, it was actually it was whatever the punk
He's
rock
talking
station.
about the Crystal Method.
Yeah, Crystal Method. Okay. Yeah, Thank you, Ken and Scott, Crystal Method. So I got to open up for them. It was back when I was playing like breaks and stuff. Yeah. And well, you know, sometimes Ken and Scott really like to, you know, they like to get down, they like to party, they like to have a good time for their sets, right?
Oh, they like to party.
Oh yeah. So it was fine. It was cool. It was good. So I finished up my set and I was like, it's getting late. I was still, you know, family man. I got to get home, you know? So I grabbed my stuff up, give my love to Ken and Scott. It's all good. And I could tell, you know, they had been, you know, living it up, especially Scott, which is where the story sort of revolves around. So I grab my stuff and I start walking out, right? I have my crate. And about maybe 3 minutes later, I'm out getting towards the parking lot. And I think it's Ian. He's running after me. He's like, Rob, we need you to come back. Can you come back? And I was like, why? And they're like, I think we need you to come back and play. And I was like, okay. And I'm DJ. Heck yeah. It's like, there's a big crowd. It's Vanguard. There's 1,000 people. I'm like, right on. So I'm like going there and I see the crowd is kind of standing there kind of quiet and the music's kind of playing, but it's not. And what I mean by that is the record's playing and this slows down. And I look and I get back up on the stage because I'm like, what the hell's going on? And actually, because for whatever reason, Scott was like, it's really fun to watch the vinyl spin. So I'm going to do it slow and then I'm going to do it fast.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he was toasty beyond belief. I was like, oh, so, and at this point I look around, I'm like, where's Ken? Well, Ken probably smartly, he had bailed. He was gone.
He's like, give me the fuck out of
That's
here.
why he's on a farm in South America.
He's in Costa Rica doing some fruits and stuff.
Yeah.
Bless you, Ken. Smart decision.
Yeah.
All right,
Good call.
so good call.
Right.
So I'm like, so I see now why I call back. I better put some records on. So I get in there, and I think Ian or somebody kind of pulled Scott back, and I was like, that's fine. And so I grabbed my record and I put it on there and I just said, hey, you know, and we faded out of that thing, whatever it was that Ken thought was or Scott thought was a track. And I faded mine in. I was like, cool, you know, I'm good. I got the crowd going. I'm not looking behind me at all. I might have told you this story before. No, I haven't? Okay.
You have not.
So while I'm playing and I'm queuing up my next record and everybody's like, cool, the club starts to get back in the mix. They're like, oh, well, that was kind of odd. I feel a cable start to go around my neck and wrap around my throat. Okay. And I'm like, okay, this is what the hell is going on? Well, it turns out Scott took the cord from his, headphones and he started wrapping around my neck and squeezing it. So I was trying to play and mix into the next song. So I'm trying to mix into the next song with my next record while he's closing off my air pipe. Wow. So I'm like, what is going on? Right. So I'm like, stop. I'm like, Ken, I got to get Scott, I got to get this record going. You know, so I was like, put it on there. And so finally they grabbed Scott, pulled him off. And I literally, because I was trying to hold it together, right? I was trying to hold it together and I got the record to play and I turned around and Scott was like, that was awesome, bro. Let's tag team. And the crowd, while I'm getting choked, was like this.
Like,
Wow.
What is going on, right? Now, to this day, sorry, Scott, I don't think I've ever talked to him about this. I just chalked it up as, hey, I party. Sometimes things get a little crazy. We held it together. It's all good. I ended up finishing the set that night, which was probably much to the chagrin of the people that paid for that, the Crystal Method experience.
They got a better time.
Anyway, that's my fail.
Watching the turntable.
Oh,
being
dude, he
fascinated
was so intent, and he didn't give a crap that there was like 1,000+ people out there. You know, it was great. I was like, that. Honestly, in hindsight, that's a total rock star move.
Definitely in a zone.
Some zone.
Yeah.
What zone?
I'm
Who
not
knows?
sure what zone, but
I won't even talk about the time that I played a pre-recorded CD that had pre-mixes in it, and on it I was not told that there was actually commercial breaks that came on as well, and it went over the clubs.
wow.
That's a story for a different
So
time.
I got two more failures. One's
All right.
One's
Okay.
a real failure.
All
One's
right.
a failure with a lesson.
Oh.
So the first failure was I was just way fucked up. Okay?
Oh, okay.
I don't drink very often.
Yeah.
But on my birthday.
Oh, I know what this is. This is his 40th. we did this together.
We've been waiting for this.
I was here for this.
I do not. I am not a heavy drinker, but on my birthday, especially, I turned 40, which is a big number.
Yeah.
Rob and I threw my 40th birthday party at the Standard
Rooftop, LA.
on my actual birthday in November.
Yeah.
And it was
November 11th or something.
16th.
16th. Okay.
It was a wonderful time, but I just drank way too much, and probably somebody gave me something that
He roofied himself. Don't let him lie. He's lying now. Somebody did something to me. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
But me and Rob DJ'd, and it was a very important day for me because it was, even though my mom has been very supportive of my DJing and was responsible for me DJing because she helped me buy my first set of turntables and all that.
Right.
It was the first time she actually went and saw me perform.
On this particular day too.
It was fun. She left before any of the shit.
Oh
happened.
yeah, no, you're right. You're right. My bad. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Perfect timing.
So she was there at the beginning of the party and saw me and Rob DJ, and it was a great moment. And she was popping bottles, she was buying bottles for the people.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It was her seeing her son in his element, which was nice.
That's awesome.
And then she left, and then shit went downside. It
went real south.
Collette was headlining, and she was on after us.
Did you want to talk about the face?
Well, was that before or after?
It was before, but
was it?
But admittedly, you don't remember as much as I do.
Well,
but please go ahead.
No,
yeah.
So, I was so drunk that I ended up falling face forward, and I remember Rob picking me back up.
For those out there that are listening to this, I've never heard such a solid thunk of a human body hitting the ground and in my life, and it was face first. And I thought, are you going to be okay?
Yeah, I think there was more concern about me at the time. I was more embarrassed for myself rather than concerned, but whatever.
Can I just add this? I've never watched a flip switch turn off on a human person's consciousness until that moment when you were functional and then suddenly you were not.
and I love this story because now that I'm almost sober a year, it's like, okay, now I remember why I stopped drinking.
Right.
So I get up and everyone's cool about it. It's my birthday. No one's giving me shit. So it's like, then Colette's DJing, and I decided, what? I want to get back on the decks. So I make my way back up, and I'm fucked up, and I'm just like, I want to get back on. And Rob,
it's my birthday. I got to play.
And that's what I said. Right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. And
you were fighting through the crowd too.
And Rob thankfully talked me down because I was about to ruin the night.
Oh, you were actually behind the decks with Collette.
Yeah.
Like you're like I know you're playing this track, but I'm about to go. You're like Kanye West at that moment.
I remember Colette's face because it was this one of concern and regret.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I'm about to take over. Yeah.
It was like, what's going on with Theo right now? And Rob thankfully pulled me aside and used cool things over with Collette.
Yeah.
And I moved on to somewhere else in the night.
She's a lovely person, so she's totally got it.
No. And I've apologized since.
Yeah.
I
mean, because you were about to throw elbows. You're like, this is my party. Right. I'm about to throw some bomb tracks down. I was like, Jay, you played already. Don't you remember?
Yeah.
No.
So yeah, that's
a nice fail though. That's a good story. I like that. And was that the one with the wisdom or the story behind it, or what was the second one?
The second one, it was I didn't realize the failure until later. So, and this is something I think could be related to a lot of new DJs because this is something I didn't really realize until I was young. I was probably 19, 20. And looking at it now and saying, yeah, I did make a mistake.
Oh.
Because I was able to play at Orbital. I was DJ at one of the Orbital shows at the Shrine Auditorium.
Wow.
It was me, Doc, DJ Dan, Michael Cook.
Michael Cook.
Yeah, it was like 94.
Okay.
And Orbital came out with the Brown album, then
Wow.
Civilizations.
Yeah.
And the way they had it was a Shrine Auditorium, and they had the DJ set up in the middle, and then the surround sound kind of thing. And they placed me on at the end, which I was great. Wow, I get to close this. This is awesome. And throughout the vibe at the party was kind of mellow. It was kind of more deep house, and that was when deep house was kind of getting its kind of groove, and everyone was kind of playing that kind of sound. And there were a lot of ravers there, and all these people were coming up. Oh, what time are you playing? What time? When I'm closing. They're like, "Are you going to play hard? Are you going to play something harder?" Oh, yeah. And so I felt all this pressure to bring on the heat. So I was listening to people who were asking me to play, harder music.
Right.
But even though I didn't really think about it, was that appropriate for where I was placed in the night?
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So I remember I dropped just a hard acid set, and people, who were sitting on the sides were jumping up and putting their heads in the speakers, and it was like, bring on the rave kind of stuff.
Right.
And I thought it went well because people were grooving, having a good time, and I thought, I was appeasing to the people who were asking me, "Hey, can you play something harder? Can you play something harder?" Okay. So the next day or two afterwards, Tef, who was a promoter of the show with Philip Lane.
Philip Lane shows. Okay.
Yeah, so it was one of the Millennium parties.
Okay.
Yeah, so so Tef called me up and had a conversation with me about my set that night. And he's like, it was a little too aggressive to close. I'm like, I explained, people were asking me to play this. And he was listening to me, but he also was kind of scolding me, as far as, when, you have to play appropriate for the time that you're given. And I never really thought about that previous to that, because I didn't, you think of yourself as you're a performer of the night. You're not thinking of yourself as part of the
whole night,
right?
Yeah.
And what the promoter wants to see from that night, how he envisions the night to go, or this peak and valleys, and what the thoughts are there.
Kind of like the idea that you curate your set,
Right.
But the promoter's curating the DJs
the vibe
for the entire
night.
Right.
Yeah.
So that taught me, even though it was a failure, because no one likes to be scolded by the promoter who's booking you.
Sure.
But it taught me a valuable lesson to not think of just myself and at that moment, but also look at the night as a whole.
Right.
And where you land in that night are you playing for the event, that part of the event appropriately?
Right.
So yeah, I learned a lot from that night.
I remember when we were doing the bassist parties. Remember that?
Oh, when J.Phlip.
I was just gonna say, and we ended before she started at like 1:30 BPM, and she was looking at us like, "What in the?" And I felt bad about that, because at the time I think we were trying to make bassist like it's like a real techno party, but it's J.Phlip. She plays funky. She's San Francisco. She's Dirty Bird.
And I was scratching.
It was like, so I feel that was one of the rare occasions too where I felt bad. It was like we should have, not you, but me probably as well.
I think, I really wasn't familiar with J.Phlip at that time as far as her style was concerned. I've played with her several times afterwards.
Right.
And I know what she's like.
Right.
But at the time, we were just doing our thing. And
Right.
And it was basis was more techno oriented and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think it was her preference, but it was our party.
But we didn't check. That was the problem. I think if
Right.
we had checked and said, "Oh, that's where you want to end up," and
Right.
basic etiquette
No,
stuff.
that's DJ etiquette.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
When you talk to the DJ coming in, hey, where do you want me to end at?
But to be fair, I remember the last track we played just before we were like, "Uh-oh," and we slowed it way down to like 124, like midway, to get it like the room calmed down a little bit, So we did try to save face.
as emergency, meaning that an emergency is in progress that will affect you and you should take action now to ensure your survival. A biohazard outbreak is in progress. This has resulted in an airborne plague causing victims to be transformed into zombies.
It's the time of the season for loving.
What's your name? What's your name? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Is he rich like me? Has he taken any time to show you what you need to live? It's the time of the season. It's the time of the season. It's the time of the season. It's the time.
Babe, how low can you go? Death row? What a criminal. Once again, back is the incredible rhyme animal, the uncannibal D. Public enemy number one. 5-4 said freeze, and I got none. Then I tell them that I really never had a gun, but it's the whack that the Terminator X fun. Now they got me in a cell cause my records they sell, cause a brother like me said, well, Farrakhan's a prophet and I think you wanna listen to what he can say to you. What you ought to do is follow for now. Now what the people say, make a miracle, keep up the lyrical. Black is back, all in, we're gonna win. Bring the noise!
some for the shoe shine boys. Boys, boys, you've been pulling them by the hand inside. Oh, Let me all your toys. If you need to lead to heaven now, just stick around. You're gonna be there. What do you care? What do you dare? What does your heart say now? All she wants is your energy. 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 She wants it all. She wants it all. She wants it all. She wants it all. Divine intervention couldn't keep the word from leaking out. With your pleasure in suspension, not to mention what you're hanging around. If you need to lead to heaven, yeah, a place to share in every possession. What do you care? What do you dare? What does your heart say now? All she wants is your energy. 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 She wants it all. She wants your energy. She wants it all. She wants your energy. 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 Your energy.
next time you're here, maybe what we should do is get into like some techniques. And, you know, you've learned a lot of things over the years. Pat, you're the hardest working DJ as well here, I feel like, in Vegas, just like you are in Southern California. I'd love to hear some stuff and from you guys, and maybe our audience would, right? Let's get into it.
Yeah, but I think, you know, for young DJs, it's, you know, remember, you know, because I think from a DJing perspective, you sometimes can look at things very selfishly.
Yeah.
Because it's very insular.
Yeah.
It's your set, your time slot,
Right.
your part of the, and start looking at where you are as the event, because the people who you may have just, like, for me personally, I show up 5 minutes before I set my set. It's a very well known fact.
Right.
I leave 5 minutes after my set. Everyone knows this about me. I show, like, people like, oh, where's Theo? It's only, he has 10 minutes. That's because I get there 5 minutes before my set. That's just the way I roll.
Efficient.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, and also, look, you know, there's part of this thing in club culture about paying your dues.
Yes.
And about, like, well, are you part of the scene? And look, fuck all of you. We've been doing this for decades. So I've already spent all the time going to parties 5 nights a week, supporting all the smaller promoters when they're on their come up, going out to the DJs and going to the openers who've only got 5 or 6 people dancing. I've been one of them.
Yeah.
And I did that decades ago.
Yeah.
So now that I'm older, I'm sorry. I don't go to the party from 9 o'clock until 4. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't stand that long unless you're paying me a lot of money to DJ that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, that's part of it. And I think to Theo's point, and this is something that Rob was bringing up too with their, you know, situation with J.Phlip, the thing that you have to be so hyper aware of as a promoter is that as a promoter, you're curating a night. So you're booking DJs to play that night to give people a journey from open to close.
Yes.
Now, not everybody's going to show up from open and stay till close. Of course not. We're not silly, but there is a good contingent that will.
Yes.
And those are the core people, and that's really who you're doing this for.
Yeah, that's who you want to appease. Yeah.
You want to give to the core. Okay.
Yeah.
So part of that is if you're a new DJ and you're coming in and you're like, okay, I'm playing a party that starts at 10 p.m. and ends at 3 a.m. and I'm playing from 11 to 12. It's not midnight, 1999, and you're not playing in Times Square.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't need to always peak everything out and explode the room.
Right.
If you can play a great opening set, a great middle set, a great peak set, a solid closing set, that is the true essence of the craft.
Absolutely.
Yep.
That is
Absolutely.
understanding where you fit within the experience of the customer,
Right.
party goer. That's why we do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
If they're not there, you might as well be playing in your bedroom.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you've finally gotten from that point of being the bedroom DJ to playing to a room of people, respect that.
Yes.
It's just same thing as reading the crowd.
Absolutely.
You know, the people that I see, I've seen it so many times, that come in with this attitude of the crowd's not going off, so I'm going to
Pound it. Yeah.
I'm going to take it even harder. It may not have been harder that they were looking for. They might have been looking for more funky. They
Right.
might have been looking for a different change up in the beat structure.
Right.
Maybe they wanted more vocals. Maybe they wanted no vocals. You have to be somewhat intuitive and go with that and try to get their vibe. And that's a difficult thing. But after decades of doing it,
Yes.
you can walk into a room and get the
Into it.
idea of
Yeah.
what they want. But that is so important.
No.
You really do need to think about the totality of the night.
Absolutely. And I think if you're a young DJ and you have the opportunity to DJ out and, you know, and play in those various times, right? Opening, middle, peak, you know, closing. And if you find yourself playing the same things in all of those things, you're doing something wrong.
Exactly.
You are doing something wrong.
That's
Amen to
right.
that.
That's
Amen
right.
to that.
And honestly, I think getting back to your mixtape story you talked about earlier, where you could play things that you couldn't play.
Yeah.
You do it on the
'Cause
mixtape.
you have to
Actually,
think of the dance floor, yeah.
opening sets can be that too.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a chance for you to just kind of stretch a little bit, play things that, not the banging stuff, but the stuff that might be a little bit off the beaten path.
Whenever
And-
I get a chance to
Yeah.
open, and that's the time where you get to try out things you don't normally do.
Totally.
Just try to see what, and even if there's no one there, you get an opportunity to hear it loud, see if it works.
Right,
You know,
right.
those are really good opportunities.
Yeah.
Oh, I have one last fail.
Oh, here we go. And we'll end up on this one. Yeah, this
Yeah,
is good.
One last fail.
All right.
And this is, I don't know how to describe this, but I talked to Pasquale about it. He doesn't remember, but I think he'll be okay with me.
This is Pasquale, EDC Pasquale.
Is there any
This
other?
is, I'm just, for our audience, Rotella,
Owner-
yes?
owner of
EDC.
Insomnia.
Okay, so this is high stakes fail.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Look, I'm not trying to be the next big thing, all right?
We're about to ruin that anyway, right about now.
No. I mean,
Yeah.
I said, Pasquale, do you remember this? And he's like, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
It was actually my first time dealing with Pasquale.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I wanted to kick his fucking ass.
Really? Oh, this is promising. Let's go. Go ahead. This is a juicy story.
I didn't play for Insomniac when it was the actual after hours on Friday nights.
Oh.
When it originally started in '93.
That's like on Washington Boulevard.
14th and Hill.
Hill. Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. Yeah.
And don't forget about all the all the fucking warehouses he'd throw them in that were after the Northridge earthquake. They were condemned, and people shouldn't even have been in them, but they were anyway.
But anyway, that's another story
Anyway,
another time.
we'll talk another time.
You know, I'm sure there's plenty of origins of Pasquale, and I have nothing but mad love and respect for Pasquale.
Very nice.
I wanted
guy.
to throw that
Very
out
nice
there
guy.
because he has a lot of respect for me and has a lot of respect for the old school, and I love the fact of what he's grown his company into is I don't think anybody, you know, I know myself at 18 never thought that people could make a living off this. We were breaking into warehouses and having a good time.
Yeah.
Who makes a career off of that? So
fair enough.
So the fact that Insomniac has turned in what Insomniac is now is a testament to his hard work, because he is really one of the most hardworking.
Can I say something as you do yours, Phil? I want to add to the Pasquale love. Yeah. You know when you played at EDC and you played, it's called Boombox? Wasn't the Boombox?
The art car, yeah.
The art car, and it was called Boombox, right? So he actually called me and said, "Hey, Rob, I want to do this thing called Boombox, but I knew you were throwing a club called Boombox. Would you be okay if I use the name?"
Yeah, he's respectful.
And I was like, "Yeah, dude, that's pretty awesome. You called me." It had been like a few years afterwards even. The fact that, one, he remembered, two, that he actually reached out like as if I mattered or whatever, right? And did that. I thought that was extremely respectful. And from that, I was like, that's cool. Like that's a cool move.
Well, I think a lot of it is that, you know, for whatever shit people want to talk and everything else about him, which, you know, anytime people get really successful.
Exactly.
You're gonna get
that's
that.
all it
Yeah.
is.
People
It's
just
the
wanna talk
haters.
shit,
Yeah.
But, you know, he has a very deep love for the culture.
Absolutely.
And that's what that means to him. It doesn't just mean like, oh, is he going to sue me if I do this? He couldn't give a shit. He's Live Nation. He can't give a fuck. But the point is that he does that because if he would put himself in your shoes and say, hey, that's one of my brands.
Right.
What are you doing?
Right.
You know, and just, you know, even if it's just like a slight, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So he would treat it in that way.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, for all the, you know, people don't really know how many times that guy took it on the chin, how many events got pulled from him.
No doubt.
How many times he lost
his ass.
Exorbitant amounts of money.
I can imagine.
I mean, you know, this is going back 25, 30 years. It's he's really been through the ringer.
No,
so,
and he's had events that have had deaths that have been high profile.
I remember this part of the reasons that he had to deal with, like a liability and all that stuff.
Had to move EDC to Vegas.
Vegas, right?
Yeah.
So
all right, back to the fail.
Back to the fail. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So I never had the opportunity to spin for Pasquale prior to his 1-year anniversary party. So his 1-year anniversary party was at Shark Club, Crash Mansion, back in the day. And it was actually promoted as 2 parties, because back in the day, there was always 2 flyers for every party.
Yes.
Especially in the early rave scene.
Wow, I didn't even know this.
Yeah. In the early rave scene, there was an east side and a west side. And there was, the east side was mainly Latino promoters. There's Latin Underground.
Okay.
And like the party crew stuff. And then there was the west side. And if you read old Herb magazines, you will see that they actually do like showcased both the West Side and the East Side.
Yeah.
There was Michelle Lawley who did the West Side. And
Oh, Michelle.
and-
Right.
and-
Okay.
And
Wow.
Michelle Dominguez who did the East Side.
Okay.
And usually,
Forgot about all this.
I know these names. I'm like, oh wow. I at least knew Michelle Lawley, but go ahead.
These
Yeah.
are all the guys that came out doing the ditch parties
yeah,
and all that
all the-
stuff.
Wow.
the
Parties.
DPs, the
Yeah.
ditching parties and stuff.
Okay,
like that,
okay.
Purple Shield, all those.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you would get a East Side flyer and a West Side flyer, and they'd have separate map points, but they all end up at the same party.
Oh. Would it still be the same party name? But they would, or
No, they were promoted as two different parties.
oh,
but
it
you
was
would
even
at-
two different. Oh, okay.
But you'd end
I
up
didn't
at
know
the
that.
same party.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it might be one room would be like all the DJs that
From
the West
the-
Side people
yep.
knew, and the other room would be all the people that the East Side
Yep.
people
I like this. This is a cool idea. I think it has legs now.
But
Even. Go
the
ahead.
only thing that it really was kind of racially divided, which
Yeah,
was a little
it's-
weird.
Well, because they were promoting to geographic regions, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it just happened to be that certain people lived in that geographic version, and they had to, right?
Yes,
Is that,
and there was the party crew culture, which was primarily East Side.
Oh, I see.
Kind of, kind of was more predominantly Hispanic.
got it. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. They did a lot of backyard parties and the punk
Right,
stuff and
right,
goth things, and
right,
yeah. Okay.
exactly,
Gotcha.
exactly,
Absolutely.
But there was this cross pollination where they would be two different flyers for the same event, and the same thing was happening for Pasquale's 1 year anniversary. So Tef Fu, who's through Circa '92 and all the Circa parties, and
If you didn't know, he was the first one I promoted for.
oh really
Yeah, I started flyering for Bionic Hippies and Truth
nice over at Park Plaza.
At Park Plaza.
Yeah.
That was 91. That was when I started.
We have rave royalty in this room
Absolutely,
right now. This is
absolutely.
awesome.
Shut
yeah.
up. Tef would
I'm
be
just a
rave royalty.
tourist, man. I'm like, wow. Go ahead, please.
So Tef did this party called One Roof in August of '94, and it was an after hours. It started at like 1 a.m. and went to like 10 a.m. And it was the first time I met Frankie Bones, and because he brought Frankie to play that party, and it was Skylab 2000, Frankie Bones, Jason Bentley, myself, and it was kind of for me. It was like one of those parties that kind of put my name.
Yeah, right.
Because it was like after that party, the booking started. Like people were
Right.
because
Jason
Tef
and Skylab. That's
because
what
Tef had such a reputation as far as the parties he threw.
without a doubt.
Yeah, so that if you were part of his lineups, then you were getting noticed by other people.
Right.
So thank you, Tef, because
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, when you booked me for One Roof, it did change a lot of things for me. But he decided to do a second One Roof party, and this one had instead of Bones, it had Beltran. And it had DJ Dan and Simply Jeff doing a 2x4, and then it had Ron, RW and Dan, and RW and Blakemore. They did a 2x4 together. And I opened up.
That was around the time that the 2x4s
Really?
were taking off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was which for those of you that
For those who don't know what that is, it's not a piece of wood.
It's
Okay.
it's
It's
not
not
a
a
burger.
2x4 piece of wood.
It's
Yeah.
not a burger.
Explain.
So
Explain.
a 2x4 was actually two DJs on 4 turntables. Okay,
Well, two mixers.
yes, 2 mixers,
2 turntables
one
on
mixer
one side.
feeding into the other mixer,
Mixer, yeah.
so that you would actually be able to hear all 4 DJs or all 4 turntables playing by two DJs.
Right.
It's more equivalent now to what people are doing, which are back-to-back sets, which is just 2 DJs on two
Right.
turntables or 2 digital players or whatever. But back in the day, it was all about the 2x4s.
Right.
So I opened up the party, and I didn't really. Pasquale didn't book me. Tef booked me. So they both had 2 different flyers. One said One Roof, which was Tef's party.
Oh, I see
And
where
one
this
had
is.
the Pasquale 1 year Insomniac party. So the first One Roof party, he didn't know Tef didn't know how he was going to do. So he told me, he's like, Theo, you have a guest list of 20 people. Just get people here. I'm like, sure, no problem. So I filled up 20 people on the guest list.
Which, by the way, guest lists back then were almost unheard of.
Yeah.
It was very hard.
It was
Oh,
gold.
wow.
You
It was
were
gold.
either like a fully dressed up club kid,
Yes.
or you
Oh.
were paying.
Yes.
That was it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
So
Yeah.
he was concerned that, and the thing about the Shark Club is that because it was a club and we were going till like 10 in the morning, at 6 o'clock, the bar opens.
Oh,
again,
right.
So it's like, we want people there to get, money from the bar. So So I gave him 20 people, and there was no problem. The first One Riff party was great. So the second One Riff party, I submitted another guest list of 20 people, thinking that's what Tef wanted, because Tef booked me, not Pasquale. I took my dad to this rave.
It's family affair.
Yeah. And he lived near downtown LA at the time, and so I picked him up, and he comes with me to the rave, and I get into the Shark Club before it opens, and Pasquale's there, and he looks at my guest list, and he's like, giving me shit, like, who told you could have this many people on our guest list? I'm like, wait, did you fucking book me?
Oh, you got like, oh, you were like, what's up, dude?
Because Pasquale wasn't Pasquale.
Well, yeah, not at that point. Yeah.
Right.
You're like, do you know who you're talking to?
No, I wasn't trying to be like, but I was like, who the fuck are you coming down?
Right.
Like, first of all, you didn't book me. Tef did.
Yeah.
Right? So if Tef has a problem, he can bring this up to me.
Right.
And also, in all fairness, Pasquale was like one of many
promoters.
lesser known, smaller promoters
Yeah,
at the time. Tef was Tef.
Oh, Tef Fu, right? That's his name? Yeah,
Tef,
okay.
CPU 101 was like,
Oh.
they were the ones doing the stuff that had the celebrities.
Yeah.
They were the ones doing, like, you would go to a party that Tef would throw, and the Wicked Crew was DJing, and the cast of Melrose Place was there.
Yeah.
And this was when they
Oh,
were the-
wow.
I
It
remember
was
that
like
show.
that.
I remember that.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
dude, it was
Okay.
like
The soccer player guy, I remember seeing him at a party.
You would go to Tef's parties and just be like, dude, there's Claudia Schiffer, there's Naomi Campbell, there's Christian Slater, there's Keanu Reeves. Where the hell am I right now?
Wow.
And Doc Martin or Michael Cook or Mark Lewis were DJing D-Bass,
Yeah.
and you're like, this is another world.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
LA,
so-
by the way, right? Like that's basically
Yeah.
So go ahead, finish this. So what did you come to blows?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was lit up. I was just like,
Oh, you were fired
I
up.
was like, because I didn't know Pasquale at that time.
Right.
He and I have never really interacted outside of just pleasantries. Hey, what's
I
up?
see.
So, so for him to come at me, and he didn't really book me. It was Tef that booked me for this party.
Right.
So it was like I felt he was coming at me sideways. So of course I got defensive.
Yeah.
And it was like, and I think Tef kind of cooled it down, and it was kind of like, and it was not a big deal. But at first when he came, and I told Pasquale about this probably at EDC a few years ago, and it's like, do you remember the first time we met? He's like, oh, he's like, yeah, I wanted to kick your ass. He's like, what? And he's like, what'd I do? I said, well, you gave me shit for all the people I had on my guest list for Tef's party.
Yeah.
And he's like, I did? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's all good.
That is so funny. And you're a pretty mild mannered guy, so you had to get fired up.
Well, it was because he came at me aggressive about it. It was just like,
Right.
Well, and also it was, when you're that age,
yes,
and you can get people on a list, and then all of a sudden that list gets pulled, you've just got egg all over your face.
I think part of it too was my dad was there.
Right.
I see.
It's like everything. It's like you're coming at me like a man. What are you doing right now?
Yeah.
This isn't just another party.
It wasn't just me by myself. I got my dad with me. It's like
you got to show him that you were raised right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, they become a whole different thing.
No, he's in his 40s and he's coming with me to this show. Come on.
Right.
Well, I don't know if that's quite a fail. I think that's a great. You know what that is? That's a great origin story.
Yes.
That's what that is, because since then, hugged it out. You guys are bros. It's all good.
I love Pasquale.
Yeah.
Every opportunity I get a chance to talk to him, because like the last time I played at EDC, I wasn't expecting to play at EDC. He called me and he was like, I want you to play. I'm like, well, since you're calling me, because usually it's one of his people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's you work a side angle or something like that.
Totally.
And I'm like I said, I'm not interested in being in the next big.
You should ask him though. Can I get a guest list? How big's my guest list? That it's contingent on that.
My dad's coming too.
Just relive the moment,
But, because I know where he's at in his life, and it's everybody wants something from him.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
So for him to reach out to me directly and say, "I would like you to play," meant the world to me.
For sure.
Yeah. So
cherry on top on all the things that you've been doing is Theo.
Yeah, because for me now, I don't have any like preconceived notions. I don't live in a world where Theo's going to be the next Carl Cox or anything like that. I've had what I've had. I'm good with it. I still can have a good time with it. I still DJ every weekend, but there's no pressure to. I got to make tracks to get to the next level, to
Right.
get to this, to do this, to do. You know, I have a good career, and I get to DJ still.
Yeah.
What's not
That's-
my plan B is fucking awesome.
Hey, and you know something? I'm actually going to pepper this because we're going to end up here on this note. It's a great note. But the next time you come, and this is also a cherry on top, you just went recently and got to speak to a bunch of college kids as a real scholar of rave.
That's right.
And I think that deserves some time when you come back. We need to delve into that. Unless you want to quickly kind of recap, because it might even be online. You can check that out, right?
It will be.
Okay.
So basically, it's this professor. His name is Sean Nye.
Okay.
Who works in the music department at USC, and we got introduced by a mutual friend. Apparently, he had Christopher Lawrence do a similar kind of discussion
Cool.
about the early rave scene and stuff like that. And he reached out, and before I started working at LMU, and I told him, look, I'm going to start my new gig. Let me settle down in there first, but I would love to do this. And so it worked out. So in April, I went over there, and it was me and Michael, who is a photographer. And
Is that Michael Tolberg?
yes,
Yes,
yeah.
Michael Tolberg, yeah.
So me and Michael both spoke at this event, and basically it's his music class, and it was, you know, first of all, the first thing I said was like, I know none of you are 33, so that means I've been DJing before any of you were born.
Wow.
So, and then, you know, so there was one part where Sean, the professor, decides to showcase a party, how sweet it is. There's a video of me DJing at How Sweet It Is back in 2000, and it's just one of the buildings and going off, and it's just like all this stuff, and they show this in an entire like 3-minute video, and at the end of it, I'm like, well, that's how your parents met.
That is hilarious. Yeah.
That's great.
Total truth, too, probably. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So it's cool to. One of the interesting questions, and I think you and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, was that one of the participants, one of the students, was asking about AI and music creation, and what are my thoughts on that? And I said, just like anything else, it's a tool, and if you wanted to manipulate the tool to have it do everything for you, you could do that. Or if you want it to be where it sparks an idea and you become creative, music can be one of two things. It could be a product or it can be art. Mm-hmm. And how it's pushed depends on what that becomes. Mm-hmm. So if your intention is to make art, then you're going to make art. If your intention is to become the next big thing, then you're going to make product. And
right.
That's what this is.
Right.
And I'm not bemoaning any of that. Look, it's called a music business because there's business attached to it. There's real money attached to it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And if you want, and I highly recommend this to anybody, please read Rick Rubin's The Creative Act.
The Creative Act, yes. Yeah.
That book right there will tell you the best advice I've ever received from any book, which is your art does not owe you anything.
That's very good.
Your art does not owe you a living. Do not become a starving artist. Mm-hmm. Work and create art.
That's right.
And I think that his wisdom about, not, because I think there's this whole like notion of, one must suffer for their art in order to become the next big thing. And his whole idea was like, don't do any of that because it may not return. So if you can, find a job that's adjacent to your art. Like if you could work for Insomniac while you're trying to pursue your DJing or whatever it is. If you're a filmmaker, if you could work in, kind of the back end of filmmaking and do production and stuff like that. So you could be adjacent to those things.
Right.
But your art doesn't owe you shit. And that's
is such a good point because I never, I've spent longer promoting than I have DJing.
Yeah.
And I started promoting because I just didn't want to have to pay. So I said, okay, I love this club. I was going to Truth. I didn't even know Bionic Hippies was going on the opposite week. So I was going to Truth, which was every other Saturday. And I was like, I love this music. Still didn't really understand it completely, but I was like, I just love this. I love the crowd. I love dancing. This is awesome. but it was like $25, and $25 back in 1990.
That's a lot of money, actually.
Was
right there.
like paying like a $50 cover now.
Yeah.
It was expensive.
Yeah.
And so I found out that if I just promoted and I just handed out flyers, because that's basically all you did back then, that would get me and two of my friends in. So that's what I started doing.
Right.
And then when I wanted to start DJing, I just looked at it like, hey, there's all these other DJs. I think I could do better because I would do it this way or that way.
Yeah.
And I wanted to learn the craft and figure out what they did. And so that was how I started to go into the DJing thing. But I really wanted to DJ. And I have been adjacent to DJing as a promoter, which thankfully I think has helped me as not only a businessman and also understanding crowds a lot better and understanding them from a DJ's perspective, but also from the promoter and the business side of it. I understand going in as a DJ because of what you're talking about and working adjacent to the DJ field. I understand now that if the floor is really packed, but nobody's going to the bar, the venue isn't making any money. And you may think you're doing a great job. You're not. You're doing a disservice to the venue because they're not making money. They're not going to want you back. You create peaks and valleys on the dance floor.
Mm-hmm.
People start going to the bar. Now the bar sales start going up. Now they like you at the venue. Those are the types of things that before I would have never taken into consideration.
Yeah.
And so I really do take what you said to heart, which is your art doesn't owe you shit. And if you really want to do this, the best thing you can do is just get in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mix it up.
Yep.
Get in there. If you have to start as a lighting person, if
Bartender, whatever.
Yeah.
whatever, get into the nightlife industry so you can understand it and watch the other people rise and fall and fail and have, successes and miseries and all of those things. So you understand that. It'll make you more, a better rounded person, but definitely a better DJ.
He has a funny story, like why you were he's admirable. He's like, I'm learning the business and da-da-da. I got into throwing parties as a promoter because nobody would book me. So I had to make my own, right? I was like, who's going to book this guy?
There's a lot of people that do just that. There's a lot of great parties that happen just because I
of
want
that.
to play myself.
Right. So, sorry about that. No. I want to say though that also to build on top of what you just said too, the idea between being an artist and an entertainer.
Yes.
And the entertainment aspect of today's DJ culture is very obvious. We know what's going on there. Yeah. And you can have an overlap into the artist, DJ as an artist as well. I feel like that's shrinking a little bit. I would look at people like a DJ Harvey, artist. When I see Derek May, DJ, artist, right? I mean, I think Harvey actually has a little bit of inherent entertainer in him. That's why he's so popular. But but what I would say is you can tell he knows his music and he plays what he wants and he's educating and he's doing all that stuff. So like I think when I think about you, Jacob, you are an artist thrust into being an entertainer out of necessity on occasion.
Yeah.
That's how I view you. And I feel like that is such a respectable place to be. And it's why you've done this for 30 plus years. And I'm sure you're going to do 20 more.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I do want to put out there, because I think we're speaking to a lot of people who are, it seems like through this conversation that we're trying to reach people who are younger than us.
Fair enough. Yes. Right.
It's okay to have a plan B. Okay.
I see where you're going with this. Right. You and I've had this conversation. We both have had jobs and careers and in parallel to this stuff.
Well, I just met because I just started my new job at LMU, and we had a all hands on site. I met some new people last week, and one of them came up to me at an event last week and was like, "So I heard you're a famous DJ." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I've been around."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, my son's a DJ." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. How do you feel about that?"
And what did she say?
And she's like, "Well, I just, I get concerned." I'm like, "I'm sure you do." Because, you may see your son trying to pursue something can be somewhat hard to grasp. And, you may want to, if you want me to talk to your son about, having a plan B,
nice.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Would you?" And I'm like, "Absolutely." And he's like, because I showed him who you are. And he's like, yeah, I know that guy. He's old school. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm old.
You're like, no, true school. Let's get it right. Let's get it right.
I'm old. It's cool.
Okay. All right. Fair.
So,
I'm old as school. I'm old at school. Yeah, exactly.
So I was talking to her about, her son, and I said, look, honestly, I was able to live off the music for 4 years. From 2000 to 2004, I lived off music. Didn't have a job, just music was my job. And the one thing you don't realize is that when it becomes your job, it also becomes what you have to do instead of what you want to do.
Inherent in that is compromise.
Yes.
Boy, is that a true statement.
Yes.
Boy, is that a true statement.
So it kind of sucks some of the soul out of things.
Yeah.
Because you have to do things in order to live.
Right.
Now that I've, several, years past that, I'm, 20 years past that where I've focused on my IT career and still DJ'd. The thing now is I have the power to say no. I have the power to do what I want.
That's a good point.
One of the greatest powers you can have as an artist is the ability to say no.
Yep.
And say, this is what I want to do. This is what I don't want to do. And when you live off your art, it's harder to say no and to set those boundaries because you have to pay your bills. You have to, live.
And you usually have a team behind you,
right?
And management and all these other people that are relying on you.
Yeah.
You have
pushing you in certain directions.
Obligations,
oh, you should do this, or
sponsors.
you should change your sound to this.
Yeah.
So my point is, have a plan B. Because I'll tell you, my plan B is awesome, and it's worked out for me. So
you're looking happy, my friend. You're looking
work
happy.
out for you too.
Yeah,
so,
and I'd like to say this: there's a bottom line to this. If we have to get real brass tacks for this audience, is if it's as simple as your plan B gives you health insurance in perpetuity, do that. Get that.
Lord, did you just nail it?
Yes,
because I have been working. I left the corporate world and went into nightlife 100% in 2002. And let me tell you, I thank God that my wife works in the corporate world,
right?
Because she gives us insurance.
Yep.
Because I have made exorbitant amounts of money working for all different kinds of touring companies, nightlife companies, casinos, you name it. It is so few and far between that you actually get 401k,
right,
that you get, all of these. Well, I mean, look, you laugh about it.
No,
this shit is not funny. You don't have it.
It is, dude,
horrible.
Trust me. And the reason why I'm laughing is because as we're ending up this podcast, we're getting up to the near. We are getting to severe brass tacks right now for our folks.
Yeah,
think about this.
Real.
Make sure it absolutely
because
is.
you don't think about this in your 20s.
No, that's true.
You don't. You're healthy. You feel you're going to live forever. You don't think about retirement or I may get sick or.
Some of us don't think about this even in their 40s. I don't know who that was.
Yeah,
maybe that was me. I don't know.
That? No, and the other thing that you're talking about the. If there's weeks where I DJ 4 or 5 nights a week, let me tell you, I don't want to be there every single time
right.
doing it. And then I also think back to one of the things I did for God's Kitchen was I would have touring acts come in from Europe, and I would do them in all of the God's Kitchen clubs. I would go and basically, babysit them on their U.S. tour, if you will. So that would be like 7 or 8 shows. And this was the biggest DJs in the world making exorbitant amounts of money. These guys didn't always want to go on every single night.
Right. It's rough.
And the people that are coming to see them, this is so important to them.
Of course.
And it's the highlight of their day, their month, their year, whatever. They've always wanted to see this artist. And you hear comedians talk about this and so many other people talk about this. And it's like, you can't always be on the way you want.
No.
And that really awesome, exhilarating feeling that you have when you're DJing and you're vibing with the crowd and you guys are together as one and everything you're playing, just your mixes are on, you're feeling great about everything that you're doing. That's a hard thing to do when you have to.
Yeah.
And
when it's forced. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you have to, you have to.
That's it. Yeah. So the plan B is a good thing to think about.
Yeah.
Maybe, for those that want to have, hey, dialogue in the comment section. We'll talk about it. I mean, we'll visit and do all that. I think we're coming up here we had a severely great, absolutely awesome couple hours here today,
Yeah, this
guys.
was fun.
So
This
thank
was
you
fun.
so much. Thank you.
Maybe this will be 2 episodes. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see how it works. But thank you, Theo, aka Jacob, for coming out, spending your time with us.
It's been an honor and a pleasure to hang out with both of you. You both are good friends, and I'm glad to be here.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Theo.
All right. So, everybody, thanks for dialing in again. This is Flat. Well, if I can get it out. This is what happens when you're trying to avoid a call. Try it again. Let me. Hold. Okay, let me jig it. Okay. So, flashradio.fm. This is Pat. I'm Robtronik. That's Theo. Thank you so much, and enjoy. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man. Better than he was before. Better. Stronger. Faster. 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 Faster.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic man. Better than he was before. Better. Stronger. Faster, 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 faster,
seconds. You said it wasn't art, so now we're gonna rip you apart.
Stop, check it out, my man. This is the music of a hip-hop band. Jazz, well, you can call it that.
But this jazz retains a new format.
Point, well, you misjudged us. Speculated, created a fuss.
You've made the same mistake most auctioneers have. Talking all that jazz. Talk is cheap, but like beauty, talk is just skin deep. And when you lie and you talk a lot, people tell you to step off a lot. You see, you misunderstood. A sample just a tactic, a portion of my method, a tool. In fact, it's only of importance when I make it a priority. And what we samples up are the majority.
But you a minority in terms of thought,
narrow-minded
and poorly taught about hip-hop and all the silly game to erase my music so no one can use it.
You step on us and we'll step on you. Can't have your cake and eat it too.
Talking all that jazz.
Talking all that jazz. Talking all that jazz. Jazz, 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 jazz.
control. Work your body to the beat. Body work will set you free. Sound off, 1, 2, sound off, 3, 4. Bring it on down, bring it on down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Work me, work me, work me,